SEBI and NSE advise consult only SEBI registered advisors and make payments only to verified accounts or UPI IDs. An investor awareness initiative by SEBI and NSE.
Presented by National Stock Exchange. Co-presented by Canara Bank. Together we can.
Good morning, you're with us here on Business Today. I'm Aabha Bakaya, counting down to market opening for you. Let's take a look at the headlines this morning. Asian markets again down amid thin volumes as the US and Chinese markets remain closed. Investors wait for a fresh round of economic indicators later this week. Oil on the boil as Iran conducts naval drills. The tension is keeping gold steady below the $5,000 level. India and France set for a major defence reset as President Emmanuel Macron arrives in Mumbai. Deal to manufacture Airbus H125 helicopters to be signed today. Visit to put the focus on Make in India with agreements to produce Rafale and Hammer missile likely to be signed this week. India's trade surplus with the US shrinks considerably in January as imports jump 24% on year to $4.5 billion. Exports shrink 22%, bringing the trade surplus down 56%, even as the two countries move closer to a trade deal. India's chief negotiator to travel to Washington for talks to bring down tariffs to 18%. In a major leap for India's semiconductor dreams, Macron to begin production of memory components used in AI systems from its facility in Sanand by the end of this month. It will be the first of 10 semiconductor projects approved under the 76,000 crore rupee India Semiconductor Mission 5 years ago. A special day for youth and rural women at the AI Impact Summit. Tata Group brings you the Yuva AI Hackathon and the AI Sakhi Immersion programs. Join special telecast on Business Today as thousands of youngsters, entrepreneurs, artisans, and community leaders explore and discover the scope of artificial intelligence. All right, let's take a look at the setup this morning. We're also joined by Shailendra Bhatnagar and Amrish Baliga. Shail, let's quickly first take a look at the index and really what indicators we're observing in pre-open. We know it's been quiet with the concerns around IT and timely to be having the AI summit here in the capital on the back of all of the noise we've had the last couple of weeks.
Good morning to you, Aabha. A warm welcome to Avinash and his welcoming all the viewers. So I'm wearing what I can to get the Nifty higher and higher, Aabha. But strength in Bank Nifty, strength in CPSE index, in particular power plays, as also the PSU banking setup. Bank Nifty heading towards a fresh record high is stronger than the Nifty, and I would focus on buying the dips in PSU banking shares and in counters such as NTPC, ONGC and Power Grid. Aabha.
All right, Amrish Baliga joining us this morning. Amrish, good to have you with us as always. Let's get a sense from you. The last time we spoke was pre-earnings, Amrish, and now with the budget behind us, the trade deal behind us, we're really looking at what to focus on next. AI has been keeping us on our toes with the index wobbling on the back of IT.
Yeah, in fact, the budget is done. RBI policy is over. I think all that is digested. The US-India trade treaty is getting signed. I mean, we know the contours of that. So that's also positive for the markets. The earnings season was mixed, but slightly positive, I would say. And even that is over. So I think the road ahead, at least in the near future, seems decently smooth. May not be too much of, like action happening, except, of course, if something really goes wrong on the US-Iran deal. I think that's the only thing which can shake the markets. Otherwise, clearly, I see that the markets have taken decent support. And I think there's a decent upside from here. Crossing 26,000, 26,200 could be a bit difficult, but I'll not be surprised if it crosses that, because I really don't see too many roadblocks as such. And again, we have seen at least some decent buying coming in from the HNIs, the PMSs, and the AIFs, at least in the small and mid caps.
Okay. All right, let me touch upon the AI summit, because if you're here in the capital, you know that all roads are essentially leading there for this week. It's day 2 now of the summit at Bharat Mandapam, and the summit features high-impact sessions and global speakers focusing on AI's future, from jobs, public health, child safety, and data centers. Today's key speakers include Amandeep Singh Gill from the United Nations and Amitabh Kant of Niti Aayog. Today's focus will be on the Tata AI Sakhi program for rural women, featuring Smriti Irani as chief guest, and the Tata Bharat Yuva Hackathon for the youth, featuring Union Minister Ashwini Vaishnav. We also have Business Today as media partner, talking about inclusive, future-ready AI at the summit. Big breaking news also for you. On the back of the AI summit, the government is set to launch a smart AI agricultural tool, Bharat Vistar, for farmers later today. The tool has been announced in the budget and has 150 crore rupee allocated to it. Bharat Vistar will give information to farmers in their native language through mobile or a simple phone call. It'll guide the farmers on crop planning, best practices, pests, weather forecasts, markets, government schemes, eligibility, application process, and grievances. For more on this, let's go across to Karishma Sudani. Karishma, keeping in line with the commitment in the budget and a big boost for Indian farmers being announced on the back of the AI summit.
Absolutely right, Aabha. This was announced in the Union budget by Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman, where about 150 crore have been allocated for FY27. Agri has been big on country's agenda. I think we all agree. For a year, we've been talking about, especially in the backdrop of so many trade deals being signed, and this collaboration of technology with agriculture is only going to benefit our farmers and is going to make their lives easier. I'm at the AI summit where this is going to be launched, but in addition will be a lot of other key initiatives that will be launched.
All right. Well, this is one big announcement. And today, what are going to be some of the key highlight areas, Karishma, at the summit? You've, of course, been on ground and tracking it, global leaders converging there. What should we be watching out for today?
I think the big eyes have to be on the India-France relationship. And that is also because President Emmanuel Macron is here. He'll be in Mumbai today. He'll be he'll be meeting Prime Minister Narendra Modi. And in the backdrop of it, also Rajnath Singh, who's the defense minister, will meet the French counterpart to sign an MOU, especially on some 10-year collaborations that both India and France will look at the defense ties. Let's not forget that since the whole geopolitical movement has taken a new shape, especially bringing India as one of the key players in the Asia-Pacific region, we play a very important role now with our relationship with the EU, and AI Summit is just one example. Beyond the road is going to be longer, Aabha.
Thank you, Karishma. We'll come back and take you through Macron's plans a little bit later on the show. But for now, we've got the opening bell. So let's pull that up for you. 25,600 on the Nifty, just a marginal downtick today. I think one can breathe a sigh of relief if one's not seeing some heavy selling coming in on the IT pack and also spoiling the overall mood of the market. Today, it's steady. Marginal downtick, yes, but no major cause for concern right now. Remember, we've got US shut, China shut. Let's take a look at some of the individual gainers and losers as well. See perhaps where the individual sparks are and where the action is this morning. Let's pull that up for you as well. BEL, Asian Paints, Infi on the upside today. That's where you've got some action happening. And ITC, HCL Tech, TCS following suit. So some little bit marginal recovery in IT, just a touch there. Advanced decline ratio looking fairly even, Stephen. On the downside, Eternal, Shriram Finance, Hindalco, some of the names that are seeing a slight cut coming in. Broader markets are pretty much flat. No major action there. Grasim, Cipla, and M&M, some of the other names on the downside as well. We've not seen too much momentum in auto, despite decent sales data and after all the buzz around some of those duty cuts, etc. But nothing much has been happening there, even though we've continued to get a lot of buy calls. So overall, fairly flat right now on the index. Shell, what are you spotting?
IT and IT alone, Aabha. Today it's the weekly expiry of the index. All the short sellers and the naysayers will be covering their short positions in Infosys and TCS, and that's the only index that's in the green. A gap up that's happened, and a percent higher on the Nifty IT index, taking it away. TCS, Persistent, Infosys, L&T Mindtree, GoForge, you name it, it's going to see a massive short covering. Aabha.
All right. Well, a little bit of a bright spot on defense. Amrish, let me come to you on that. We've got Macron also, of course, currently in the country, and we'll hear probably a little bit more again on defense contracts. And we've seen the kind of up move on the back of announcements when it comes to key stocks in the space. But, you know, a lot of these contracts take a while to play out. What are you making of the kind of valuations we're looking at when it comes to the defense pocket right now?
No, because the valuations are still decently expensive. I mean, although we have seen correction in the defense space, but the valuations are still quite expensive. And whenever these contracts are signed, you immediately see some sort of an up move. Basically, I think it is clearly sentiment linked. But then when you look at the performance, we could see some amount of execution issues coming as far as defense space is concerned. We've already seen that happening in HAL. I think we'll see that across various other companies, because most of them are sitting on huge order book for the next at least 7-8 years. I mean, something like a Cochin shipyard, if not wrong, is sitting on an order book of the next 11 years. I mean, where do you have the capacity to add more orders? And more importantly, the execution risk is still not discounted by the markets.
Absolutely. I mean, take a look at Cochin Shipyard today, and the stock is up almost, I think, 5%. Then you've got Texmaco Rail up about 6% today. So defense, rail, I mean, we've been talking about the infra story. There's Cochin Shipyard, 5.5% higher there on that one. We've got a whole host of stocks that are moving higher right now when it comes to that, you know, one pocket. Texmaco Infra on your screen as well. So that's really where some of the action is this morning. All right, let's take a look at, what is on the anvil when it comes to the French president's visit. France President Emmanuel Macron begins his 3-day state visit to India from February 16th to 19th, accompanied by First Lady Brigitte Macron. The visit builds on Macron's meeting with the Prime Minister at the AI Summit in Paris in 2025. Talks now move to India with defense, AI, strategic cooperation in focus. And this also marks a significant boost for India's defense sector. 4 key agreements are expected on local manufacturing of Rafale fighter aircraft, production of Hammer precision-guided munitions, assembly of H-125 helicopters in Karnataka, and reciprocal deployment of army officers as well. The proposed Rafale production line will mark the first time the aircraft is manufactured outside France. Defense Minister Rajnath Singh will co-chair the 6th India-France Annual Defense Dialogue, where a renewed 10-year defense cooperation framework is also likely. Macron will meet the Prime Minister at 3:15 p.m. for bilateral talks at Lok Bhavan in Mumbai. He will also issue press statements and sign MOUs, and is set to attend the India-France Innovation Forum and later a cultural commemoration at the Gateway of India. Let's go across to Vidya for more on this. Vidya, very high-profile bilateral meet that's going to be taking place, and a packed schedule for the heads of state.
Well, certainly. In fact, everyone has been looking forward to the 3-day visit of the president. And remember, this is the 4th time that he's visiting India on the invite of Prime Minister Modi. Of course, on the anvil is the defense tie-ups. The star attraction certainly is the 114 Rafale that India has just approved of buying. But remember, there's also the defense cooperation agreement that has to be extended for 10 further years, apart from, of course, the manufacturing of Hammer missiles, which are actually used in Rafale. But of course, they were of significance, as we had seen during Operation Sindoor. The Rafale were of prime importance. They've had done significant damage to the other country, and certainly, it did seem like that would be the logical reasons why this entire strategy would further go ahead. But remember, the inauguration of the H-125 light utility helicopter and the final assembly of the Tata Airbus is also extremely important, apart from, of course, the manufacturing and the, transfer of technology that is to happen. So obviously, on the anvil of the entire agreements that will be signed amongst AI and various other subjects in healthcare, education, these defense strategy is certainly something of prime importance to both the countries.
All right, Vidya, thanks for joining us on that. And that's going to be really the key meat that we'll be tracking for you today and, of course, through the week as well. Amrish, what's your view on IT, given all the noise around AI and we've seen a complete rout? What would be your strategy going forward?
I think it was a knee-jerk sort of a reaction. And this fear is clearly linked to that specific sector. I think the correction can overstretch. But then what I see is in times of disruption, survival instinct comes into play. And I see most of the IT companies reinventing themselves. And the IT workers will clearly have to reskill so that they are not left out. And even in the past, we have seen similar fears. If you go back to Y2K, large teams, finally moved from simple fixes to full software development and long-term client work. We have also seen software as a service and cloud platforms. When they were introduced, again, people expected the IT services demand to fall. But then the IT companies migrated into cloud and system integration and all that. So clearly, we have seen revenues increasing for IT companies, employment increasing. So I'm not really worried. I think only we need to see as to which are those IT companies which are fleet-footed and are able to change decently fast. Because if you go back to the 90s, computerization itself was a threat. But just see the sort of employment which it has generated.
Yeah.
So I think
absolutely.
the next few years you will see leaner and more effective IT firms. Productivity will improve substantially. So like I said, you just need to watch out for the ones which are more fleet-footed.
Got it. Amrish, you mentioned that overall, result season, you would say, was positive, even to positive. So if you had to pick, let's say, 3 stocks that surprised you or that you felt were on track for further upside, what would they be?
The one which is, one of the largest companies in India related to infrastructure, like a company like Larsen & Toubro. That's one which I saw the earnings were in line better than expected. And the sort of, execution which they're doing, I think over the next 2 to 3 years, we should see still much better sort of earnings from L&T. So that's one stock which will be there permanently in my portfolio. When I say permanently, I'm talking of the next at least 2 to 3 years. You really can't take, view too much beyond that. The other sector which I would still look at, like earnings of some of them surprised on the positive, and now with the US-India trade treaty should help, is specialty chemicals. So I think that's one sector to be looked at. Stocks like Deepak Nitrite could be bought even at the current levels. The other one would be possibly Archean Chemicals.
Okay. All right, so keep an eye on chemicals, specialty chemicals. That's the view coming in from Amrish this morning. And those are a couple of the stocks on your screen there as well. That's where we have it at 9:25. Quiet market, infra in focus, Cochin Shipyard, Texmaco Rail. Some of these names are really the ones that are buzzing in the broader markets today. And IT, whether it's short covering or whether it's recovery buying, but IT is definitely looking good today as well. And then we have a smattering of other gainers, but the market's otherwise quiet. Remember, global markets have also been closed overnight, so we'll wait and see how things pick up tomorrow. All eyes for now on defense, on Macron's visit here in India, and on continuing dialogue and insights coming out of the Mega AI Summit. That's where we'll leave it there. Amrish, Shell, thank you so much for joining us this morning, and we'll be back with you at 3 p.m. to talk you through market closing. Thanks for watching.
Presented by National Stock Exchange. Co-presented by Canara Bank. Together we can.
Look, this investment guru's tips will double your money. Just claim the offer.
Double your money from any random group. Pay attention. Promising double returns, they'll lure you in tight. Unverified groups will send fake tips overnight, emptying your pockets before you can fight. SEBI and NSE advise consult only SEBI registered advisors and make payments only to verified accounts or UPI IDs. An investor awareness initiative by SEBI and NSE.
Introducing Motorola Signature,